It lies with everyone in that dressing room and starts with me to everyone in that dressing room. I've said it before as well that we win together, we lose together. So I'm not going to be someone who's going to say that it lies with X, Y, or Z. It lies with everyone sitting in that room, as simple as it can get. That is what team sport is all about. Again, the buck should be stopping with everyone, as simple, because yes, we need to apply better. At one stage we were 95 for 1. I'm sure you guys must be watching the game. From 95 for 1 to 120 for 7 is not acceptable. And we keep talking about, obviously, spin, but then one seamer got 4 wickets in that spell. And we've had these collapses in the past as well. Someone needs to put their hand up and say that I'm going to stop this, whatever you call it, the collapse. For me, I think that is something, that was that 30-minute spell that obviously took us away from the game as well, because at one stage on day 3, we were pretty much in control of the game, where we were 95 for 1, and then from there to lose 5 or 6 wickets for nothing on the board literally was always pushing us back. Look, first of all, a series against New Zealand, we had a very different side. And this is a very different side. I'm sure you guys cover a lot of cricket, and I'm sure when you see this batting lineup to when you see that batting lineup, the experience that batting lineup and the experience that team had to what this team has is chalk and cheese. So comparing everything to New Zealand is probably a wrong narrative. Okay, you've got 4 or 5 players. I don't give excuses. I've never done that in the past. I will never do it in the future as well. But if you see 4 or 5 batters in this top 8 have literally played less than 15 test matches. And they will grow. They're learning on the job. They're learning on the field. Test cricket is never easy when you're playing against a top quality side. So you've got to give them time as well. So for me, I think that is something they'll keep learning. Hopefully they keep learning. That is important. Because I know that I hate using this word transition. This is exactly what transition is. When you've got in test cricket, when you've got your batting lineup, which is literally played less than 15-20 test matches, they need time to absorb pressure. They need time to keep getting better against quality attacks and against quality sides. Look, I expect better from everyone. I expect better from myself to everyone in that room. I'm not going to sit here and say that I expect something better from one individual. The point is, if you want to win test matches against quality sides, we need to expect better from everyone. And that is how you win test matches. You don't blame one individual shot. You don't blame one individual playing in a certain way. You blame everyone. So me talking about an individual, I've never done that, I'm not going to do it. You know, first and foremost, we should never forget people who do well in white ball cricket. They should not forget that what they've done in red ball cricket. Very easily, media, us, fans, everyone stops forgetting about what they've done in test matches. And I don't want to forget that. To be honest, we go forward, we got a lot of white ball cricket. If someone gets a 40 ball 50 or an 80 ball 100, the reality is that we still need to keep getting better in red ball cricket. Because if we are really serious about being the top test team in the world, I think we cannot put things under the carpet. Because the reality is we still need to improve a lot in red ball cricket. Whether it's mentally, whether it's technically, whether it's absorbing pressure, whether it's sacrificing, whether it's putting team ahead of your individual self, and most importantly, not playing for the gallery. To be honest, there is no hindsight to sport. Whatever decision we've taken for the best interest of the team, and we absolutely believed that those were the right decisions which could get the job done for the country and for the team. And the second question, it is up to BCCI to decide. I've said it during my first press conference when I took over as the head coach. Indian cricket is important, I'm not important. And I sit here, say exactly the same thing. And yes, people can keep forgetting about it. I'm the same guy who got results in England as well, with a young team, and I'm sure you guys will forget very soon because a lot of people keep talking about New Zealand. And I'm the same guy who won Champions Trophy and Asia Cup as well. Yes, this is a team which has less experience, and I've said it before as well, that they need to keep learning and they're putting everything possible to turn the tide. Oh, that's a great question. I expected something like that. It comes from care. What you care about the dressing room, how much you care about the dressing room and the team. Because accountability and game situation can never be taught. Yes, you can talk about the skills, you can work on the skills, you can keep talking about the mental aspect of the game, but ultimately when you go in, if you keep putting the team ahead of your own self, not thinking that this is how I play, and this is how I will get the results, and this is how I play, I don't want to play the second, I don't have plan B. So sometimes you will get these kind of collapses as well. So for me, I think yes, accountability is important, and more than the accountability, it's the care, how much you care about Indian cricket and how much you care about the team and people sitting in that dressing room is important as well. Yeah, absolutely. I just said it that from 95 for 1 to 120 for 5, I'm sure that is not technical. That is more mental, and that is about how much you care for the dressing room and how much Test cricket means to all of us in that dressing room. That is important, and it's just the game has just got over. Obviously, you keep thinking about as well what needs to be done and where can we get better at it. And as I just said, that we need to keep getting better. We need to keep getting better individually and more importantly collectively as a team, and that is something which we're going to keep working on. Start prioritizing Test cricket if we are really, really serious about Test cricket. And that is something which is important. That is going to happen overall, where everyone needs to be the stakeholder for that. So if we really care about Test cricket, if we want Test cricket to flourish in India, I think we got to have a collective effort to make that happen. Because just blaming the players or just blaming the support staff or just blaming certain individuals will not help. And as I just said, that we can't put things under the carpet. Come the white ball formats, if you get runs in white ball formats, suddenly you forget about what you've done in red ball cricket. That should never happen, because red ball cricket is a completely different challenge to white ball cricket and is a completely different challenge what you get in T20 cricket. There needs to be different skill sets. And more importantly, there needs to be tough characters that are important to be a successful Test side. You don't need the most skillful and the most flamboyant players to succeed in Test cricket. You need the toughest characters with limited skills who will go on to succeed in Test cricket, irrespective of how the conditions and what the situation is. Look, that's why we're giving as many opportunities as we can to someone like Washi. But if you expect Washi to deliver straight away what Ashwin did after playing more than 100 Test matches, it's unfair on that young kid. And that is what you guys need to think as well. That he's what, 10, 12, 15 Test matches old? He's learning his trade, he's learning to bowl in different conditions, he's learning to bowl in different situations as well. And obviously, it's tough when you lose so many experienced players at the same time. And that is why it is called transition. That is why it is called that these guys need time, whether it's the batting unit or the bowling unit. I don't think so ever in Indian cricket something like this has happened where the transition is happening in spin bowling department and in a batting department as well. Normally when your batting is secure or your batting has experience, then your team goes through a bowling transition. But with this Test team, obviously the transition is happening in both the skill sets, whether it's the bowling department or the batting department as well. So you guys and all of us needs to give them time, and I'm sure they've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the ability. That's why they're sitting in that dressing room and they've delivered. Yes, obviously consistency sometimes could be difficult because you expect consistency in Test cricket. That consistency will come with experience. When they bowl, when they play in different situations, eventually they will deliver. Look, obviously scheduling do make a difference. Imagine 3 days back, 3 days before the start of the first Test match, we were in Australia. And suddenly you come back from there and you have to join a Test team and you've got 2 days to plan with the Test side. But that again is not an excuse. And I'm not going to give that excuse as well. Sometimes we can probably prioritize this better. We can have more gaps in the middle so that we can probably start working on certain skill sets, because working for 2 days on a certain skill set where we always knew that they had quality spinners, they had 2 really, really experienced spinners. So that would have always been a challenge for a Test side. So that can help. But yes, there is no excuse from where we were in this Test match to where we lost the momentum. From 95 for 1, it wasn't the skill set, it was something else. It was just probably not the mental application. That is anyways a policy. BCCI policy that's there, that when you're available, you have to go and play domestic cricket. Again, that comes with accountability, that also comes with how much you want to do well in Test cricket. You can't just keep telling players at international level that you got to go and play domestic cricket. If you feel that that's the best way for you to prepare yourself for Test cricket, I think it has to come from within. As simple as it can get. And again, a certain skill set. If you want to work on your defense, if you want to work on playing spin, if you want to work on batting long hours, those things can only be done in domestic cricket or probably how you plan before a Test series. So that has to be individually, and obviously from a support staff, it has to be planned better.